I've never hated hockey jerseys so much because this protective looks unbelievable. You should not have to cover it up. I mean, obviously this whole Flylight line has looked really good, but these Vapor Flylite protective items I think are some of my favorite. I don't know that much about them technically, so we're gonna bring in our protective expert here, Brett. If you wanna come in and kind of tell us all about what we're looking at here. Thank you so much for coming in.
It's awesome to be here. Thank you.
It looks unbelievable. I'm
This is
blown
a
away.
phenomenal line. We're extremely excited about this line. And yeah, I can absolutely walk through some of the technical stuff with you.
Just for an overview, I'm going to give you 90 seconds. It's actually more than we've given to anyone because you have many more items to cover.
All of these items to cover.
Yes, exactly. We're going to give you 90 seconds, and if
Okay.
you can tell us everything we need to know about the new Vapor Flylite protective line.
Okay, I hope 90 seconds is enough time, all right? But we can start.
I believe in you.
We can start with the shoulder pad here. So we're extremely excited. Obviously, Corwin touched on the look of the shoulder pad, but we've really got a low profile cap here, which we're very excited about. So that's gonna be close to your shoulders, really moving with your body. Then we've got a nice pre-curved rib, both on the front and the back. That's really, again, gonna help you have that pad stay close to your body, but we've also beefed up the protection all the way through the line, both on the back and the front, so you're getting more protection from that shoulder pad. If we move on to the shin guard here, obviously the Vapor shin guard has done very well for us, and we're very excited about this. We really, again, wanted to keep in the same vein of beefing up the protection. So anytime you walk into a store, just give it a nice little tug here. You can see how sturdy that is and how stiff that is, but your knee's gonna have a nice, comfortable place to sit in the donut here with that sturdy shin guard here. As we move on to the elbow pad, again, this might be one of my favorite ones. It just looks so good to come on your arm and how it moves with you. But really the big call outs here for the elbow pad are gonna be that low profile cap here at the bottom. And then you're gonna have a nice deep donut, so that elbow pad is really gonna fit snugly on your elbow as you put it on. And then we have a 360 contour around your forearm to make sure it's stable and it's not gonna move around.
You're flying, Brett. We're on
Flying,
a glove.
I like it, I know. All right, so moving on to the glove. Again, the Vapor glove has been a very good fit. A lot of great comments on that. But I think the biggest part of the Vapor glove is going to be the 3-piece thumb that we have. So as you move this thumb, you're going to see the 3 different pieces.
Like the little blue in there.
Yeah, a little blue hit there, give it a little pop there. But this is really going to help with that movement of the thumb and that angle that you can move with your hands.
Last one here, we got it under the table, but not any less important.
And finally, the Flylight pant. So this will be the lightest Vapor pant that we have. And again, that Vapor story with the pant is tight, close around your body to really help with that tapered look to move through your stride and help you on the ice moving through it.
There we go. Okay. Now, obviously, that's a lot of information to take in. I'm going to have a lot of questions for you. I'm going to start with the shoulder pad.
Okay, perfect.
I don't know. Is there something that kind of stands out to you? Is there something with the design that obviously you kind of mentioned the shoulder cap here?
Yep.
Is that the number one thing about the shoulder pad that if you were to kind of like point one thing out, that's it?
So I think from a protection standpoint on the shoulder pad, really my big call out here is going to be that pre-curved rib around the side. So it's really going to stay close to your body and be very comfortable, but also adds that extra protection there with the pre-curved rib. From a design standpoint, I would say definitely looking at the shoulder cap and having this nice embossed logo here. Yeah. But then you get to see some cool hits with that Vapor Flylite color coming down here. And then obviously the detail of the curved composite, both on the sternum and then on the side there.
Yeah, like is this, have we done this before?
So we've done this before, yes, but not quite like this on the Flylight. The Flylight will be the first time that looks like that, so it's very, very specific to that, but definitely on the sternum here, you can see that before.
Okay, that's very cool. And so one of the things that obviously, as we're looking at all the protective, I think it's one of those things that for years you hear about hockey players that like they keep the same shoulder pads for 20 years or something like that. But I've never seen so many guys. I was at some of the fittings that you guys did with actually some of the pro players, and I'd seen guys like actually specifically immediately try it on and request, like, can I take this with me?
Yes.
Which I'd never seen before.
I'd never seen it before either, so as you said, I mean, shoulder pads and protective as a whole is one of the things that is the toughest thing to get guys out of, especially in the NHL. So I think when we first showed this to NHL players, the response has been off the charts, and guys have wanted to wear it right away. And I mean, even as recent as today, we've had requests of hearing guys' samples get stolen or things like that. So it's been good to hear that the response on how this looks, feels, and performs from the NHL level has been so positive.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time we're happy to hear something got stolen.
Yeah.
But I mean, so, and then like you said, so you mentioned the low profile, like kind of cap for this. Is that generally, because again, elbow pads is another one of those things where it's just like, I feel like people end up keeping them forever, but they don't realize what has kind of come out.
Yep.
And like, so if there was someone that was, say they hadn't changed in 10 years, if they were to go in and try something like this on, what would be the biggest difference you would say for them to notice?
So I think it's going to be that elbow fitting deeply in the cap. So if you look at the cap here, you see the low profile, you might think, oh, my elbow's not going to fit all the way in there, but you're really going to have a nice deep fitting so it sits in there. So if you fall or if something happens, you're going to have a nice cushion around that elbow, but also just the connection of the whole elbow pad. And as you have that 360 wrap around your forearm as it connects to the donut here, you're going to feel that whole movement with you. So it's really staying with you through movement.
Just because of how many additional straps you get with some of these and some of the newer pads, like it makes a big difference where like when I upgraded, I was like, oh my God, there's like additional straps. There's one you can wrap around. Is that like, again, has there been any big changes for
100%. I think for the Flylight specifically on the shin pad, we've added a strap. So you have your patella tendon right here where you're getting around right below the kneecap, but we've also added a strap on the bottom here to really help with that connection like you're saying and make sure that shin pad is sturdy in place and not going to move around on you.
Okay, sorry. I know you mentioned this a couple of times, the donut there. Can I actually see? I haven't actually
Yeah,
seen
so let's
it
take a peek inside here. So it's a nice DCT insert there, so nice, cushy, and soft, but also provides some protection there for you. So yeah, if you take a look at that, there it is. Feels nice and soft. Yeah,
it's comfortable.
Yeah, it almost makes you want to fall down right now.
Yeah, let's sleep on that.
Yeah.
And then so this is the first time I've kind of seen this with the glove. When you talk to pros, is this something that like are people generally looking for more thumb flexibility here, or is that a new style that I think we're just kind of trying out here now?
Yeah, so I think as you're playing hockey and as you're going up levels or really anybody's level, you really want to make sure that you have full mobility of the hand, right? So whether you want to go across or wherever you're going, but having full mobility around that stick gives you more leverage as you're playing the game. So just full mobility and having it feel like your normal hand on the stick is helpful, so you don't feel like you're stuck in one place and you can really move with that stick and how your body's moving.
Okay, yeah. And then obviously the one thing I would say is you're looking at the Vapor Flylite line here, which is our top of the line protective. What would you say as you kind of like, we have different price points for tons of different options, and what would you say is the biggest difference between like Flylight versus, is it Fly Pro for this too?
Yep, so it's going to go Flylight, Fly Pro, and then Fly 40. And I think one of the beauties of this whole Vapor line is everything, all the improvements that I've been talking about, whether it's the low profile cap, the pre-curved rib, the 360 forearm, the deeper fitting feeling, that's going to run through the entire line. The only differences that you're going to see between the Flylight, Fly Pro, and Fly 40 is like the levels of protection that you're going to get. So like the Flylight will have your curved composite, where the other price points won't have that, and that's really the differentiator. But really, when it comes down to the things that I just mentioned, that goes across the whole line.
I've never been so honest in a video that I genuinely think I'm just going to replace all my protective this year. So, I mean, I'm a Pro Series glove guy, so it's hard to go away from that.
Yeah,
this still
fair.
looks unbelievable, and I'll definitely try it out. But I can't guarantee I'm going to leave that. Okay, but the rest of this, I'm very excited. Brett, thank you so much.
Appreciate
for doing
it. Thank
this.
you very much.
Yeah, and if you want to learn anything else about the Vapor Flylite line, whether that be sticks, skates, goal, all of that, we've got tons of videos on our YouTube channel, so check those out as well, and let us know what you think.